stream is up, says it's live. It is totally black. I'm not sure what is happening. What the fuck is going on? Okay, there it is. Okay. So... Okay, but what is up with the desktop audio? Why isn't... The fuck? Is there any desktop audio? How the fuck am I supposed to know if there's desktop audio?
Simulation. You should at least think.
There it goes. Awesome. Okay. We are officially good. Okay. Now to fucking alert everybody, stream has started, because everybody bailed this time. And I'm gonna straight up call him out on it. Y'all bailed. And I ain't letting y'all get away with it this time, goddammit. Anyway. I can get this started as soon as get the word out. Alright, before I continue my bitch fest, hello everyone, welcome again to another live stream. I am your host, Fallout Sheppy, and we will be completing our trio of Crappypasta weekend streams. This will be the last one I'm doing for just a little while, at least for these stories. Otherwise, expect next week's stream to be either gaming or possibly a new trail video. Possibly. We'll see what we can do. I also don't plan on having any background music throughout this. If you are free to request a song that, you know, won't get me stricken, I guess. You know the usual rules, that we're not making fun of the authors, especially since they've probably grown since writing these and have probably written something much better. And they themselves are looking back at this going, what was I doing then? What was I planning? What did I have in mind? So, keep in mind, we're making fun of the stories themselves, not the people who wrote them. And if you yourself cannot make that distinction, that's on you. Sorry. That is not on me or anybody else that will join the stream. Alright, let's begin. Our first Crappypasta for this morning is titled The Woods Creepypasta. Pardon me, The Woods dash Creepypasta. Warning, this story may not be appropriate for kids under 6 years. It's okay, neither is my channel. Who am I kidding? It's not appropriate for anybody. AJHQ was going to make a new update, as, you know, most site runners do. In that update, there will be more woods, because woods are a big part of nature, you don't say. So they added a new place on the map, the woodland. You did not need to make that one sentence. Just saying. That did not need to be a single sentence. The woodland was entirely forest with a small shaded path going through it. You don't say. Entirely forest. When they released it, some glitches occurred. Yeah, that's common. The first glitch was that you could only leave the woodland by map. I don't understand how animal jam works, so okay. When you went behind a tree, you would get demon red eyes. Woo. And be completely black. I don't like the way you said black. That's, spooky. Also, demon red eyes. I've never heard of that color. Do you think you could show me a swatch of it? That sounds like a very nice shade. Maybe for a nice nail polish. Then, in Crappypastas Forest... yeah, that says Crappypastas. Jammers started seeing completely black wolves with overly large fangs, so jammers would log out and refresh the page. Oh, excuse me. Hiccup. So jammers would log out and refresh the page and it would go away. Okay, that... easy peasy. I don't see why that's a big deal or even really spooky. But then jammers started seeing even more. Woo. When they logged out, they would automatically... I don't know why I read it that way. They would automatically log back in and spawn in the woodland. Ooh. When your mouse was on the woodland in the world map, it would be titled Deadland instead of Woodland. And I work at the Department of Redundancy Department. Once you entered the woodland, black wolves with large fangs would be standing there, never moving, and the more you went to the woodland, 2 more would appear than there was before. My brain. my brain kind of hurts. Could you reword that a little? To just say, when you entered, every time 2 more would appear. That's easier than the way you wrote it. Once 10 wolves had appeared, they would get holes in their bodies and start moving and moaning. Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. That's a little creepy. Once they began to moan, they would follow you wherever you went. I think that it would be once they start moving, they would follow you wherever they went. I think the moaning would just come regardless. Soon, AJHQ got rid of the new update and everything went back to normal. Well, that was anticlimactic. But in Crappypastas, you might just find moaning wolves with holes in their bodies. But I thought that as soon as they got rid of the new update, everything went back to normal. So did not everything go back to normal then? And you lied? Or did you assume everything went back to normal and they made a liar out of you? I'm actually a little confused by that ending. But on the bright side, at least not everybody totally, thinks it's good. In fact, some people are even coming back and commenting on their old comments. Like this one, Mangle the FNAF. Only to come back that December and say, yay, my old account. Killer Husky 667. Ooh, is that so you're not evil? Says, the edit is probably really simple, but I never saw something like that. Cool picture. I don't know. I think you could have put just a little bit more effort. Maybe. I could be wrong. Effort means different things to everybody. What can I say about this that it actually doesn't say for itself? Besides, that it not only contradicts itself in the end by saying that everything was fixed only for there to still be the glitched wolves, but they also went, out of their way to just repeat a lot of unnecessary terms, like woodland. Multiple times in the same sentence. We get it. We know where we're at. It's not that hard. Otherwise, it's not terribly written. Just not good either. But, I think that's good for Animal Jam creepypastas. Now, we're gonna move on to my favorite And that would be last episode Creepypastas. Oh no, not those, they suck. There's a Loud House one? Is it good? Oh god, it's actually kinda long. Oh god, it's actually really long. There's 682 comments. Oh my god. Okay, I might just read this because of this one comment, which is from an admin, mind you. Can you make Luann commit suicide by taking a needle and stabbing her eye out when the episode ends? Okay, I don't even know how to unpack this comment, and I know why it caught my eye, but I don't know why this stuck out to me, but stabbing your eye, especially with something as minuscule as a needle, that would not kill you unless, say, the needle is part of a syringe and there is something in the syringe that once injected could kill you. Stabbing your eye out does not kill you. At least, not especially instantly. You might be able to very, very slowly bleed out from your eye socket, but considering that there's no, major arteries in your eye or eye socket, that's highly unlikely. The worst that could happen is that you would die from infection because you wouldn't properly have cleaned it. Okay, yes, no. We're totally reading this. Because the very last line is, how did they get away with making such an abysmal episode? I'm gonna drop it in the Discord for others. I was hoping that it would put this picture that they edited of Lori, I guess. I've never watched The Loud House. I do not know any of the characters. But this looks like it was done in, there's a special, brush setting that in Procreate lets you do, it's just multiple lines or shapes as, the drawing line. And that looks exactly like what they did for this, is they just took, the elongated line tool, I don't know what it's actually called, and it just traced over a screenshot from the Loud House or something. It looks bad. We're gonna start off with this one. It's called The Loud House. Enough is enough, with is capitalized for some reason. I swear to God, it's probably going to be, I'm calling it now, gonna be a retread of either A, Squidward's suicide, B, it's gonna be a, character goes and massacres everybody, SpongeBob Hope is Lost retread, or it's going to be one character goes insane, kills everybody then themselves, which could actually be attributed to probably multiple stories that aren't even creepypastas. We'll see. The other thing is, let's see how good the grammar is and if they can manage to stay in one tense. That's something that I've been ignoring for a lot of them, only because there are more glaring problems, especially when it comes to actual writing and structure, but not just keeping the tense. So let's see. Have you ever heard of this show called The Loud House? I'm gonna say no for the sake of the story. It's a series where a middle child, Lincoln Loud, has to survive in a family of 10 sisters. Yeah, that show. Well, what if I told you that I found an unreleased dark episode? Ooh, let me guess. You came across it somewhere on a website that nobody knows about. Or you found it on a tape on the street. Or you were an intern at Nickelodeon Studio. I'm sorry, I'm going off track. I am so sorry. Well, what if I told you I found an unreleased dark episode? Well, you don't have to start the very next sentence with well as well. Well as well as well as well. It happened to me a few days before writing this. Alright, then let's see if you can stay in the past tense. I will hold that to you. It's a bit of a long story. I was surfing the web and came across this website of salvaged media known as Digital Fossils, which, let me guess, is just made up for this story specifically. Is a website that carried strange, lost pieces of media that were either phone calls, security footage, images, deleted scenes of movies, etc. Are phone calls really lost media necessarily? Same with security footage. I'm not necessarily sure that that's... I guess they have closed-circuit television shows, so it's not out of the realm of possibility of security footage being considered media, but phone calls? Really? They save phone calls just, like, random, or what? I had an interest in strange, lost pieces of media, so I was curious enough to check out this website. Why do I always develop this bizarre fucking speech? Not dialect. I had the word on the tip of my tongue. Accent. There we go. The links were ordered as fossil, and then followed by an uppercase word or short phrase with a few numbers. These words or phrases were sometimes nonsensical and unrelated to the website entry, and sometimes they made sense. For example, fossil dog 807, fossil help 9482, and fossil don't look 370. Ooh, much scary. So spook. I'm sorry, it's just a retread of other lost media stories every goddamn time. Some of the entries on the website were slightly disturbing. For example, a recording of a cat playing with a dead bird, or a news report of a child going missing on an abandoned playground. How do you know that it's abandoned? How do the people that made the report know it's abandoned? If it's a playground, it's probably public, and so people probably still go to it. What the hell? Why is it being abandoned so important? Is that for spook factor? Also, cat playing with a dead bird. That's not disturbing. That's literally just what a cat does when they're out and find a dead creature that's much smaller than them. They do the same thing with mice and even lizards. Sometimes they kill it themselves just to play with it. So it's not really that disturbing when it's just common behavior of a feline. I don't know if I quite like you, character. You don't seem to understand what is really disturbing to most people. I don't know how the website recovered these pieces of lost media, but it had almost everything that it could get its hands on. Okay, how do you know it had almost everything that it could get its hands on? What if, say, there's another website that has more than that? Does that mean that you just overlooked the other one, even though it has more to offer, or... I'm sorry, I'm picking way too deep into these plots. So, I'm used to things being, I guess, too repetitive, and so I guess it eats away at me a little more than it probably should. This is mostly just a nitpick of myself, I suppose. It's my own personal little pet peeve. However, I stayed silent about that. You know, which is why you mentioned it. I didn't work on the website anyway. Is that supposed to be that way, or did you meant to say it didn't work? What? What does it matter if you worked on the website or not? And actually, if you didn't work on it, how the hell did you really come across it? What'd you do? Just scroll through the 50,000 pages of Google till you came across it? Again, sorry. Oh god, he did it again. However, I stayed silent about that. I didn't work on the website anyway. However, as I scroll down... Why? Why do you include however when it's not a contradictory statement? It's not necessary. As I scrolled down after seeing some entries, I found something that caught my eye. Fossil, loud 11. It was rather interesting. Why? I feel like don't look or help would be much more interesting than loud. What makes loud stand out more than help or don't look? It had a word that reminded me of the ones from earlier that were randomized. Totally necessary, but it had 11 after it. It reminded me of Lincoln Loud, the same 11-year-old boy from the show I just talked about earlier. Why? Why would it make you think of that? Loud 11. That's... If it's so random, why would it make you think of Lincoln Loud, who is 11? Why would that be the first thing to come to your head? Personally, I would have thought it meant volume, but maybe that's just me contemplating loud meaning a sound. Again, probably just my nitpick. But nonetheless. I clicked on the link and saw the description of the entry. The description read the following. This is a lost episode of The Loud House, which is titled as Enough is Enough. It was meant to be the finale of the 3rd season, but scrapped after its production was done. Chris will be planning another season 3 finale at the moment. However, this replacement is reasonable. The episode was lost for being too disturbing and dark for the series. If you're a fan of The Loud House, we must tell you that this is no joke. Viewer discretion is advised. You know what? I'm checking something really quick. I want to see. Again, it's probably only made up for this. I don't care. I want to see. What is it? digitalfossils.com. It's just gonna pull up the story, isn't it? Whoa! Actually, even better. It pulls up sculpting tools for Null or Envil. Neat. For anybody interested. I was curious. I wondered why this would be for a show like The Loud House to have such an episode like this. What? I wondered why this would be for a show like The Loud House to have such an episode like this. Okay, that actually makes a little more sense when yeah. So after I downloaded it, I started the episode. Naturally. When the episode started, the usual intro played. Nothing was wrong so far. However, in the end, nobody went to the couch to watch the TV. Again, as somebody who hasn't watched the show, you might want to elaborate a little more on why that's weird. It didn't act like they were there as well, so Lily's poo-poo wasn't present. What a way to break tension. You could have just said Lily's catch line or whatever, tagline. Oh my god. Another thing that was wrong was that the ending logo was tainted with the color of pastel red instead of orange. Don't you mean tinted? Tainted implies, like, you know, touched by something filthy or disgusting or vile. So, unless you're, like, implying that something vile is going to happen, which in this case, good attempt, but using the word tainted in this context doesn't really work. Tinted makes more sense. The website was not joking around. There was definitely something wrong with this episode. Okay. You know, it could just be setting up for, like, the family moving or something. You don't have to jump to something disturbing. And for all you know, the red could be an animation error, which cartoons are well known for. The title card had a black background with white fog flowing across the left of it, with center text saying, "Enough is enough." Okay, well, I guess that's out of place. The bottom bubbles below showed who made the episode as well. Oh, bubbles. Like speech bubbles. You might want to elaborate on that, because I thought of SpongeBob for a second, which was the same as the first 2 seasons. Did you mean to put a comma there and not a period? Because you should have put a comma and not a period. The music was a low rumbling noise that was a little ambient, something that you may hear in a horror game. Woo, here we go, guys. It's setting up for it to be spooky. It mentioned horror. The episode began with the outside view of the house, as it sometimes did. The music was absent, like the beginning of Brawl in the Family. Okay. Are you going to explain what Brawl in the Family was? It cut to Lincoln watching the television, instead of playing video games like he usually does. He was just chilling. So you're not going to explain to give us, you know, point of reference. Great. Great. Don't you just hate living with 10 sisters? Well, sometimes I do, he said. I saw his smile turn upside down. But on rare occasions, I go a little too far. I wish that they would just leave me alone, but I can't hurt them. They're my siblings. I want to love them, but the things they do are like a setback for me. Lincoln here sounded a little more serious than normal. Hey, bro, Luann said as she appeared next to Lincoln in the next shot. What did Platypus say before leaving the bar? Put it on my bill. Lincoln frowned as she laughed. Yes, Luann, pretty fun. Do you want to smell my flower? I'm not falling for it. Luann's flower sprayed water on Lincoln's face before he could finish what he was saying. Okay, Luann, do you want some of my banana cream pie? Luann said before slamming it on Lincoln's face. I'm pretty sure that's... Did the show suffer from flanderization? Is that what you're implying? Because from my knowledge, Luann only makes 1 pun per episode, if that. Except for when it's slightly centric on her, or she's heavily involved. So this is contrived. Then again, so are the episodes of The Loud House, apparently. I wondered why the description said that this episode was too dark. Luann was making so many jokes that it made the episode more stupid than graphic. Yes, thank you for reiterating. And then I immediately lost my spot. Lincoln facepalmed in dissatisfaction. Stop, Luann. You're not funny. What do you call a boy who's completely white? A flower boy. Luann laughed for a bit, but 1 shot later, Lincoln slid his hands off his face, revealing his angry eyes. Enough is enough. Ah! Ah! You said it! You said it! Lincoln said fiercely as he grabbed Luann by her shoulders. Wow, nice grip, bro. You shoulder work out at the gym. Luann laughed at her little joke. But then something happened. It took me back to the shot of Lincoln. Don't you mean it went back to the shot of Lincoln? It felt as if I was hit by a train. Just after Luann laughed at her little joke, Lincoln slammed her head against the wall, bruising her and knocking her out. Wow, at least it's not brain splatter. It's usually what it jumps to. A low, ambient tune played in the background. You know there's other descriptive words besides ambient, right? Ambient doesn't always imply horror. Ambiance can literally be anything. Could be romantic, which I get you're not implying here, but nonetheless, you need to not use ambient as your only descriptive word. Marsh! Get off her! Oh my god. My birds are fucking. A low ambient tune played in the background. Lincoln gasped and stared at the crack in Luann's head, and then at her purple, bruised, unconscious body. Wait, I thought you slammed her head. Why would you bruise her body doing that? What? What? He looked at his hands in fear. What have I done? I've never done something like this before. He looked back at Luann. But this made me feel so alive. For some reason, I've never felt this good in a while. I know just what to do. Oh, great. It's Jeff the fucking killer. If he fucking cuts a smile into his face and burns off his eyelids, I will not be goddamn surprised. Not at all. It cut to black for 3 seconds, transitioning to Lori texting on her phone, possibly to Bobby. Hey Lori, can you drive me to the comic store? Just do it yourself, or go get mom. Or get your mom, Lincoln. Wait. Wouldn't it be go get mom? Not get your mom? I thought Lori was, his sister. Meaning they have the same mom. Lori left the room, which I assumed was to go to the bathroom, and Lincoln looked at her phone, which she left inside. Left inside... Okay. Left behind would be a better way to put it. Glaring as he planned his next wipeout. 1 shot later, Lori was seen walking into her room when... Lincoln, let go of my phone right... Lori was hit on the head by her phone as it broke with the shattering of glass. Lincoln walked over to her body and looked down at her. This is for smashing my VR console, teenage brat. When the hell did that happen? Did you just whip that out of nowhere? I don't recall that happening or being mentioned. Lincoln said with silent anger. I think you mean quiet anger. As it cut to Lori's lifeless body. Why would getting smacked with your phone kill you? Is he super strong now? That's so dumb. Is Lori just so easily, killed that all it takes is hitting her head and she gone for good? How hasn't she been dead most of the series? I'm pretty sure there's an episode where she has something drop on her head. And pretty decently hard, too. Her phone was shattered, with bits of glass scattered across her face, being cut across some places. She was bleeding across her face. Where she was cut. Yes, that usually happens. Usually if it doesn't, that's both good and means that it didn't go deep. And it's not a cut in that case. I was shocked to see the middle child go on such a killing spree like this. He's only killed 2 people. That's not a spree. Why was this made? I thought to myself. It cut to black, yet again, to change to a different scene, taking place in the backyard. Well, no shit. Pretty sure the only people that would look this up or read this are people who watch cartoons / The Loud House. We know what the fuck cut to black does. Hey, Lincoln, wanna wrestle? Sure, why not, Lynn? I'll bet I win this time. I knew this was going to be no wrestling match, but I kept on watching to see where it would go. As Lincoln was wrestling with Lynn, he got behind her, and shortly after, cut to a close-up of Lynn's eyes. Come at me, bro. Lynn's anticipation was cut short when she not only widened her eyes, but gagged. I knew something went wrong. The dark tune grew louder. There you go. That's better. It cut away from the close-up to show Lincoln choking his 13-year-old sister from behind. Not only that, but the animation quality changed to a style very similar to that of King of the Hill. Well, that's a tone shift. It looked so shocking that it didn't look as cartoony as before. Oh god, it's going to just evolve from here, isn't it? Oh no. I watched as Lynn gripped her brother's hands to break free. It was useless for her to escape. It cut to Lynn's point of view as she was turned around, face to face with Lincoln. Oh please, there better not be any of what I think is about to happen. This is when I felt like I was going to faint. Lincoln's face looked menacing, cold, and possessed at this point. His eyes were bloodshot, pupils were larger, and his skin was a tad bit darker. Okay, racist. The animation at this point went back to the normal style, but his face was still highly detailed. In Lincoln's pupils was the reflection of his choking sister Lynn. Yes, we know which one he's choking. I watched in shock as her vision went blurry and her eyelids opened and closed. How do you know that her vision went blurry? It's a cartoon. All you would see is like black dots moving up and down and hear gagging. By the time she had her eyes shut, she was done. It was over for her. The gloomy music stopped. I think it would grow after that, but okay. The next shot went to Lincoln sitting in the dark with Lynn's body next to him. Why? A different low tune played. Lincoln looked at his sibling's body with a pleasured look on his face. Oh no. No. After 30 seconds, he spoke. Sleep tight, Lynn. You're free. The fuck? Where the fuck did that come from? I got chills as he said those words. I didn't. I got confused. Lincoln had snapped, and he was no longer the man with a plan. He's 11 years old. Wouldn't he be the boy with a plan or the guy with a plan? He was now a corrupt soul. I don't think this was supposed to be funny. I wonder who's next for the axe, he wondered to himself as he looked up. With a planning smile, thoughts came to him. The video suddenly turned black and white. Oh yes, because going squid noir is going to make it much scarier. Lincoln pulled Lenny closer to him with a pair of scissors in his hand and glared at Lola with a bat in his hand. Are we going like back and forth in a montage? What's happening here? He was seen smashing Luna's guitar on her face and about to set Lucy on fire. It cut to black afterward. Yes, we get it. It cuts to black every time it does a screen change because nobody else has any other way of transitioning, apparently. A line of white, uppercase text spelling, 1 week later. Yes, because that's totally not screen capped from literally any YouTube video that's done a time skip. Or, typed out on a black background. Faded in after 5 seconds. Woo. It was clear that 1 week had passed. You don't say. It was nighttime again when the text and the black screen faded out. Lincoln was staring at the bodies of his now dead sisters, which were under his bed. That's a lot of bodies to shove under that tiny bed. Pretty sure in the show it's shown that he only has a twin mattress. To name a few of their fates, oh no, Lily choked on what I assume is a small toy. I'm pretty sure that would have happened regardless if Lincoln did it or not. Lily's the baby. And Lola was cut in the face multiple times. That wouldn't kill her unless he stabbed her in the brain. Which you're not implying, you're just implying that he sliced her face. I'm not going to get into the rest of the sisters though, because you're not creative? I'm guessing? My job is done. All I need is one more. But who is it? He said, looking around. Yes, it must be me. There is something that I must do, Lincoln said as he looked down. As it cut to black for 10 seconds, why are you counting how long all of this shit is on screen for? Why? Are you, constantly moving your mouse to check the timestamp? If you are, why? As it cut to black for 10 seconds, Lincoln was now seen hanging from the ceiling. Wow. Okay. His back turned against the camera. I felt bewildered. So do I. All of the Loud siblings are dead. All because Lincoln had snapped. And it all built up to this moment. Lincoln had to kill himself in order to join his sisters. But now hold on. In the beginning, Lincoln said that his sisters were a hindrance to him. Meaning that he wanted them gone so that he could get certain things done. So where the hell does him wanting to join or needing to join his sisters fucking come in? What the fuck? Well, not all of her sisters. Just after a silent 12 seconds, Luann slowly got out of Lincoln's bed and panted heavily. Wait a minute, Luann? The fuck? Wait a minute. Okay, so I was right. There's no way that slamming her head against the wall killed her. I knew it. I fucking knew it. It was a relief that she didn't die. I disagree. Now she has to live knowing that her brother murdered all her other sisters and then killed himself. That's misery. Like I said way earlier, she was knocked out, not dead. Yes, I know. I called it out. 'Cause Lincoln acted like she was dead. Her wounds were still present. Okay, but I thought they were just bruises. Well, there was a crack in her head, but why would all of them still be present? Wouldn't the bruises have healed up, after the first week? Actually, after the week? She was a bit pale, and a bit more blood had dripped down her face, but not entirely. So the wound is still open and fresh? What? After a week? And if she's unconscious, it would have still healed. The body doesn't need to be doesn't need the brain to be conscious for the cells to, do their shit. It just has to be functioning. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's fucking... She looked at Lincoln, and back at her sisters, which were now lifeless corpses. Yes, we know. This is no joke, Luann said softly as she witnessed her first mass murder. I am putting that on a shirt later. She stood for a moment before limping outside, possibly to tell the parents what happened. Yeah, where the hell are they? What the fuck? Afterward, the camera panned slowly to Lincoln's hanging body. Then it cut to a black room with Luann crying. Then she grabbed a needle and stabbed her eye out with the needle. What the hell for? Then she grabbed a kitchen knife and stabbed herself in the stomach. Blood was flying everywhere. Then Luann fell to the ground. Great. So the one thing I didn't call was that the survivor of the killer would kill themselves. I said that somebody would go on a mass murder and then kill themselves, which technically happened, only for one person to survive. I was sort of right, but I will admit that I didn't entirely call it. It faded to black, indicating the end of the episode. What else would it, I don't know, suggest? Oh, wait, maybe it's actually just transitioning to another scene. The credits had an eerie ambient tune, and the background was the same white fog from the title card, black background and moving left, but it lasted a little longer. As the credits stopped, the screen went black, and an echoing high tune rang for about 12 seconds. It gave me the willies. Okay. Ignoring the fact that I have laughed through this, almost through this entire story, ignoring all of the flaws up to this point, say that you did have some ambience. Say that you did set up a little bit of dread, of atmosphere. Say you did have a nice built-up atmospheric story. It gave me the willies. Is the least scary thing you could ever fucking say. The least scary thing next to it made me shit my pants. Both of those would absolutely kill, actually did kill, any possible buildup of fear that you had going. Also, don't mind me, I'm going to turn on some music in the background. Oh, that is loud. There we go, build some atmosphere ourselves. Oh boy. It gave me the willies. Afterward, the episode was finally over. Questions still rang through my head. Why was this made? What happened that led Chris Savino, the creator of the show, to make this? This episode had to have something to it. I just knew it had to. Or, it's a bootleg that some bored animation student made online for free for people to watch. 'Cause, there are people that do that. It's not out of the realm of possibility. For all you know, it's just claimed that Chris Savino made it. What actually makes you so sure that he had anything to do with it? This story hurts a little. I tried doing some research on this certain episode, but nothing was found on this specific episode. I went to bed after spending 25 minutes of useless research because no other website had anything of the episode. Yes, because it's probably a bootleg made by an animation student. Do you not ever consider that? I still had some nightmares of that episode. Lincoln standing there with his cold, angry, bloodshot eyes, and overly detailed face. Would you say hyper-realistic face? He did nothing. He just watched me as I slept. I always turned on my lights after those nightmares happened. I didn't want him strangling me, slamming me against the wall, whatever he could do to end my life. I didn't go back to digital fossils for a week because of that episode. That didn't mean that I was done with it, though. I just hoped that I would someday find some info about this episode, like who suggested the idea for this episode. However, here is the real question. How did they get away with making such an abysmal episode? Read by ValskyBum94. Apparently it's popular because of a YouTuber. Sadie the Lady says, nice tasty pasta. I highly disagree. Mr. Tyron Wiki says, is a nightmare. Oliver Charles replies, no it isn't. The Sponge Bro 133 says, ow, the edge. A fandom user replied, sorry, what? And then the one I read, oh wait, there's a reply to it. Tell it to the admins to add the part of Luann's suicide in the end of the episode. By taking a needle and stabbing her eye out, and then why? So wait, that wasn't even supposed to be the real ending? It was suggested by a user for the hell of it? No wonder it came out of nowhere. Hey Jake, I found one with your name. I'm kidding. Jake Kasden 101 says, human greed is something that will make you die all those years ago, and it's time that you believe in Artemis Fowl, May 2020. Artemis Fowl. They also said, Loud House Creepypasta has never been in any more danger. A fandom user says, okay, so it's creepy. It may be fake, but you never know. It's totally fake. Another fandom user says, Boy2458A990 says, wow, why did the middle child did this? T-Block Official says, everyone died. The end. The Sponge Bro says, that didn't help at all. What the fuck? A fandom user says, let the Loud House die. I mean it. Sponge Bro, America. Alex Kid 8 says, oh, Kiddo 8 says, how did the parents not realize that their sons were gone for one entire week? Someone replied, you have a point. Good point, son. You should be an admin. Thank you, Oliver Charles. Okay, I tried to find a website called Digital Fossils somewhere in the media. It's fake. No shit. What the frick is a VR console? How do you not know what that is? It's a virtual reality console. Why is that relevant? Well, guys, Riley.exe is on the lead. Get this more popular. No. Then again, me reading it probably didn't help. My suggestion is, get rid of the bullshit Luann ending, and definitely maybe include how the parents are actually present there, and how Lincoln has to work around it to get his sisters, and he somehow has to keep his other sisters from catching on. You know, there's a way that you could make this better. Not necessarily make it scary or, you know, make it, I guess, any more worth reading than I found it to be. but it would definitely fix part of the problems. My kudos goes to you for staying in the same goddamn tents. I rarely see that, and it's nice. Thank you. Alright, how long have we been going for? We've only been going for about an hour. We can do a couple more. I refuse to read Sally.exe. I refuse. User fuck you readers? Pardon. AKA a fandom user killed? Killed? Definitely a troll who didn't read about the Holocaust. Oh my god. What? This is... I don't know why that's there, but it's a thing apparently. Is Wii Sports really considered a show? Because this is lost episodes, I thought. Oh, this ought to be good. Clarence, the lost episode. Oh god, it's short. Lost episodes, troll, pasta, Crappypasta. Cliche for the Shadow Raider. Short pasta, wow, it's short, horrible grammar. I would walk 500 miles. Read by Shadow Lioness, Suicide Gross Out, This Sucks Dick, Total Shit, Not Even Fucking Funny, Let Me Serve You Bitch Lasagna. Oh my gosh. So this one might be purposefully bad, might not be. Let's find out. Who has heard of Clarence? Well, if you watch Cartoon Network, many people. Or if you're like me and cartoons are your main source of entertainment, yes. We have. Well, I have. It said... Well, I have, comma, capital IT. Punctuation is not hard. It centers around 3 boys who like to go on adventures. Should I tell you... Are you just gonna use commas in place of periods the whole time? Oh no. Should I tell you a story that frightened me? Well, get ready to get spooked out. Oh, then there's a full stop. What the Oh, this is gonna hurt. I was watching Cartoon Network at 3 a.m. watching Gumball, Adventure Time, etc. Then Clarence came on, and I was excited. When it came on, that's where it started. Oh, my brain. Why commas instead of periods? You don't need to make your entire... whatever. The intro played like normal, but when the logo came, it was red instead of purple. The episode was titled Clarence's Suicide. Of course it fucking was. The background was blood, and it showed a noose, and there was some evil laughing like the demon. The episode started in Clarence's bedroom, except he was crying, and it sounded realistic. The scene started to turn black and white, and the crying got louder and louder. Fucking punctuation is your friend, and you are turning it into a weapon. Stop. It went on for 30 seconds. Then Clarence said in a depressed man's voice, "Why does everyone call me stupid? I can't live like this. I want to kill myself." Wow. Leap. Narrator, or whoever is, telling us this story, whoever's perspective we are seeing it from. Did you pop your arm out of your socket with that sudden reach? Then it went black for a minute. Then it showed Clarence with a noose, and there was depressing piano music. Then Clarence said, "Goodbye, everyone. I had a fun time." Then why do you want to kill yourself? After that, it showed flashbacks of him having fun with friends, family, and classmates. I was crying so much when it happened. And he hung himself. Then the parents came and were crying at their dead son. It showed a time card saying 1 month later. It was a funeral. The characters were all sad, and even Belson was sad, despite him hating Clarence. Then it ended, but Clarence appeared out of nowhere on screen, and he was staring at me with bloodshot eyes for 50 seconds. Then text appeared saying, when I translated it, it said poop, butt, poop, butt, poop, poop, ending the episode. I have a feeling this was purposefully bad. And I stopped watching Clarence after that. If you find it, don't watch it. It's scary. Yeah, I have to say this was purposefully bad. Thanks for rating the Chinese bootleg whoopsie. Oh god. I had to edit the bad grammar. You did a bad job. This is fake. Post another one of you whiny bitch-ass complaints about it being fake, and I'll kamehameha your ass. Dude, you're being whiny yourself. Please ignore it and don't start an argument, for fuck's sake. I can't tell if this is all the same user. Oh my god. SC Pasta says, question mark, question mark. Karu says, what the fuck? Well, it's pretty short, so 1 out of 10. 0 out of 10 as a creepypasta, 10 out of 10 as a troll pasta. Your Phantom user says, fuck off. Something tells me somebody was upset about their story being not taken very seriously, even though it's not written seriously in the least. Alright, should we maybe do 2 more? Wait, this one's actually written by the person who made this little list here. Geoshay's Madness? Oh, it's a long one. This is a long one. Well, how long? Oh my god. No. I will save that for another time. SML movie, Mario's Massacre, or SpongeBob SquarePants 0004. Let's do 0004. Oh, it's short. It is not short. Crappy... What is happening? What just happened? Error, what the... I know you can't see my face right now. I am utterly flabbergasted at what just happened. Let's try reloading. Are you gonna crash? Okay, I think we're okay. Let's see if we can actually figure out how long this fucking page is. Oh my god, what? I can't load the... I'm not allowed to load the comments. I am not allowed to load the comments, apparently. Alright. Oh my god. Really? This creepypasta is based off Max and Ruby 0004. Please don't go herder derp. You copied Max and Ruby. It's just made up. That doesn't excuse that you literally copied a creepypasta. It was just this Christmas that went by and things were getting busy. I had to start buying presents for the family. Oh yeah, we all know that stress. I had finished shopping, but I still needed to grab a present for my little cousin then you didn't finish shopping. He is not very hard to shop for since he is 9. Oh, you think very little of children, don't you? He likes things like Transformers and G.I. Joe. Hey, G.I. Joe's awesome. Leave him alone. He really liked, and I say liked for a reason, SpongeBob SquarePants. Why did you write the sentence that way? So when I decided to go looking for a present, I figured something like a SpongeBob SquarePants DVD would have been perfect, since he liked to watch it on a daily basis. Even though it's not played on a daily basis anymore? Okay then. Or does he watch it on his tablet, therefore making the DVD stupid? However, Christmas meant that most of the online DVDs were sold out on most places. I went to look on eBay as well, but figured I could not trust what condition the DVDs would have been in. Hey, so somebody actually thinks a little logically for once. So I was stuck in a rut for a while, until that package arrived. Excuse me? I was at home still scrolling for a stupid DVD. If it is also stupid to you, why not just get the kid like episodes on his tablet? At 9 years old, I'm sure he's got a tablet. I know my 6-year-old godniece? Niece by friend? Yeah, a 6-year-old I know has a tablet. And she loves YouTube. It's a little worrying, actually. I was at home still scrolling for a stupid DVD until I heard the sound of something being pushed into my letterbox. I caught a hold of it before my dog did, and I looked at the package. It seemed to be wrapped fairly badly with what looked like grease marks and stains on it. Naturally, like anyone would, I decided to open the package. No, I would have tried and stopped whoever put it in there and asked them, just what the fuck do you think you're doing throwing this shit in my house? This is nasty. Explain yourself. There is no reason to just open it. That's not natural at all. Maybe after trying to catch the guy who just stuck this greasy, stained, badly wrapped package in your door, then maybe, just to see what the hell it was, but for all you know, it could be a prankster dropping a fucking, like, water bottle bomb in a box in your door. You don't just open it, you huck that shit outside and wait and see what happens. It was a SpongeBob's... Oh, inside was something that I could not explain. It was a SpongeBob SquarePants DVD. But I had not seen one like it online. Oh yes, cause you know, it's totally not a bootleg. It was like some little kid had drawn on the front cover with a marker. The title was just SpongeBob SquarePants, with what looked like a poorly drawn illustration of SpongeBob and Patrick on the front. There were no names or anything, but on the back it had a list of 4 episodes, all with blunt titles. Episode 0001, Episode 0002, and yeah, 3 and 4. I gave the DVD a watch over, and to my surprise, the episodes were all perfect quality and seemed to have no flaws. Ugh, I think I'm gonna burp. Nope, it went away. And seemed to have no flaws. It was as if it was a real DVD, just with a homemade cover. The only thing I thought was odd was the episode selection screen. Okay, you going to describe it? The episodes had names, but they were all called SpongeBob SquarePants 1, and so on, with the numbers being changed as it went down the list. The actual selection screen was just a plain black screen with white text with the episode list, and nothing else. Okay, well, at least you went through with describing it. Thank you, I guess. It was what I asked for. After giving it much thought, I decided to change the cover to something a little nicer by printing out a DVD cover that I had found on Google and tracked down the names of the episodes so they were labeled right. I left the episode list screen alone because I figured it was self-explanatory. Not only that, but I don't think you would be able to just edit the DVD itself, considering that you don't seem to have any knowledge of how it was produced. So what would you do about the episode list screen anyway? No, really, I would like to know what you thought you would have been able to do. As Christmas went by, and things were fine. I gave my little cousin his DVD, and he was happy with it throughout Christmas. But that was only because he had not watched it yet. But you said that it was of perfect quality, and seemed to have no flaws. Like a real DVD. Are you implying there is something that you saw that you're not going to, elaborate upon? On Boxing Day, the family had gone out for a meal and left me to babysit my cousin. I was not too bothered about being left at home. I would figure you're not. I figured now was a good time to put on the DVD for him. I had put the DVD in and let it play while I was in the kitchen eating my dinner. Why do you need a comma there? You don't. From what I could hear, he had watched episodes 1 to 3 so far. I was just about to finish off my noodles when I heard my cousin screaming from the other room. Dropping everything, I had ran into the living room and saw my cousin curled up on the floor screaming. I had looked up at the TV and felt my heart beating in my throat. Why? You said you watched through the whole DVD. You gave the whole thing a watch over. How did you not notice this the first watch over? Explain, story, explain! What I caught a glimpse of was the most disturbing thing I had ever seen. It was what appeared to be a frame of SpongeBob and Patrick standing next to each other in complete darkness. But what made it so horrible was their lack of faces. They had lost their noses and mouths. Even their eyes were replaced with big hollow holes. Ah, I see where you copied everything from. Great, so this is gonna be a mild retread, isn't it? Of that Max and Ruby one. To be fair, I read the Max and Ruby one years and years ago. And I wasn't very satisfied with it either. So this is going to be stupid. The colors were a disgusting blood red, and there was a faint static in the background. Wouldn't it be in the foreground? The sound was replaced with what sounded like the SpongeBob SquarePants theme song playing in reverse, cause that's so spooky. With the screaming sounds from suicidemouse.avi and a faint sound of static in the mix of it all. Oh great, you're gonna just whip out other creepypastas in an attempt to make it seem like this one is scary based on the popularity of other ones. Great. It had to be the most disturbing thing I had ever seen, and it must have been on screen for at least until the music ended, before static bursted on the TV for 2 seconds and the screen went black and the DVD turned off, which alone was weird because DVDs do not usually turn off by themselves. Okay, I'll give you that one. I guess. I was able to calm my cousin down, telling him it was not real, and he had just had a nightmare as he had fallen asleep in front of the TV. However, I knew in my mind it was completely real. Yes, it was totally real. I totally believe you, main character. My parents had rung me up and told me they were going to be out all night, so this was going to be the best opportunity to look at this DVD more closely. Why would you look at it more closely if it disturbed you? Why? Wouldn't you just, I don't know, take this as an opportunity to go burn it since your parents won't be home to tell you off for lighting shit on fire? I don't know, it seems like what I would do. But I'm also a pyromaniac, so I'm not allowed to play with fire. So, moving on. I did not mention it to them, and as soon as I hung up, I grabbed the DVD and stuck it on my laptop. You mean in, right? As soon as it loaded, I noticed that the white text was now red, that there was music. The music was the 16-bit mess of sounds. Excuse me. A demonic Saga occasionally mixed in from Sally EXE, and that episode 004 had now been replaced with some Japanese text that read "Rip which translated to "Rip Squidward and Mr. Krabs," which sent chills down my back. I hate that sentence with a burning passion. Oh my god. In more ways than one, and for more reasons than the obvious. The opening played correctly, but the title card was that from Chocolate with Nuts. Except the happy-go-lucky music was replaced with the Sonic CD US Game Over music in reverse, and that it was in red and black. Oh my god, this is devolving into such garbage. Oh my god. It just... No! Author, why do you do this? Why would you do this? What was the point? What was the point of including those things? Honestly, what difference does Sonic CD whatever game music in reverse do? What does translating, or what does the Sega added in do? What the hell is the point of including this Sonic bullshit? Swear to God, you better not pull a Jeff the Killer and bring in Sonic.exe for no goddamn reason. Just like how others bring in Jeff the Killer for no reason. I swear to God, it better not. I'm sorry, I needed a second to recover from that. I honestly needed a minute. It started off like usual. SpongeBob and Patrick were playing with bubbles outside of Squidward's house, and Squidward was in his house watching them play. Wouldn't he be, I don't know, practicing his clarinet? However, something was off, of course there was. The sound was playing in reverse, and Squidward's face was that of rage and fury. That's not unusual. I mean, the playing in reverse might be, but Squidward being angry at SpongeBob and Patrick is not unusual. In any way. A film grain became present, which grew worse and worse at every second, and it panned to Squidward, and in his angry voice, Squidward spoke. "Why won't you go play in your own house, SpongeBob? I'm trying to have peace and quiet. I'm apparently Skeletor, yeah." Then it cut to static and the screaming sounds from FUD.WMV. Oh my fucking god. Followed by the sound of two people gagging while Squidward and Mr. Krabs mumbled to each other in the background, but it was impossible to understand them. The sounds were so realistic, as if it happened nearby my house, it made me almost physically sick. This story is making me physically sick. The screen cut to a 1 hour later title card. And then white for a split second, then the scene transitioned over to SpongeBob and Patrick standing in front of what looked like 2 gravestones labeled RIP Squidward and RIP Mr. Krabs, again in Times New Roman. What? Where did the Times New Roman thing come from? Why? Why is that necessary? The 2 of them had no faces. At this point, there was no sound, apart from faint static. The scene remained on screen for 90 seconds before it cut away to black. It then changed scene again, accompanied with a 10 minutes later title card, now showing SpongeBob and Patrick sitting in SpongeBob's room while undecipherable whispering became apparent and grew louder over time. Oh my god, it's just gonna keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse, isn't it? Oh my fucking god. Both of them were sobbing uncontrollably as if the voice actors were actually sobbing while a transparent, disturbing picture playing flashed on screen. The picture had my little cousin, or a little boy that looked very similar to him, dead. Brain pieces and blood was splattered everywhere. The guy that killed him with a shotgun was someone that looked a lot like my father. What the fuck is this for? Why? Sandy pulled a knife out of her neck. Where the fuck did Sandy come from? Why does she have a knife in her neck? Why? Picked up a bloody axe and hacked away at the corpse of Squidward before he came back to life and he walked up to SpongeBob's house. This has to be a troll. This has to be a troll. This has to be a troll! By this point, the whispering became louder, but more of the whispering voices started to disappear till the very second it came down to one voice, which was Squidward's voice, who screamed, "Burn in hell, motherfucker!" I was absolutely horrified. This is way too mature for a SpongeBob episode. You don't fucking say. The scene again had changed to the most disgusting, yet saddest thing I had ever witnessed. Alright, everyone. Brace yourselves. For the saddest... Pardon me. Get ready for the most disgusting, yet saddest thing this character has ever witnessed. Are you ready for this? It showed Patrick sitting in his home. He was standing on a chair. It showed Patrick sitting in his home. He was standing on a chair. Great work. Very next sentence. Beautiful. Totally not an issue whatsoever. He was standing on a chair with a noose hanging from the ceiling, which had been brought around his neck. The scene faded to black and the static got louder. Almost instantly, it then cut to SpongeBob walking in his house. Oh my fucking god. Then, he let out the same screaming from the chin-up zombie animatronic that I saw in Spirit Halloween. What? What? Then he let out the same screaming from the chin-up zombie animatronic that I saw in Spirit Halloween. Did you hear that? Because that was my hand physically slapping my forehead and my face. I cannot. Is this really a thing? I need to know. Oh my god, it's a real thing. It's literally a zombie hanging himself. I kind of want this for Halloween. Oh, it's sold out. I'm dumb. Oh my fucking god. So, there's one thing we can't confirm is real in this story, I guess. But that's one way to immediately take you out of, out of the immersion. Fucking chin up zombie animatronic I saw at Spirit Halloween. Oh my god. The camera stayed on his face as the sound of the chair being kicked and the same choking from before began playing. I thought it was gagging. The picture of SpongeBob's face stayed on screen for a good 5 minutes. This time, his eyes had returned to the same gaping holes. SpongeBob then started crying. However, it was the same audio clip from the episode Something Smells when SpongeBob was cutting onions while listening to sad violin music. The static slowly grew louder and drowned out the sounds of his cries. Are we really still not done? Really? Oh my god. The scene cut to a "the next day" title card. When the screen returned, SpongeBob was sitting, now on his own, in the empty wasteland by 3 gravestones. What? One from before was labeled "Rip Squidward, Rip Mr. Krabs, and Rip Patrick." He then started to look at the camera with glowing blue pupils to speak to me. What? I'm sorry, what? Well, Daniel. I'm sorry, this is gonna be my best SpongeBob impression I can manage. Well, Daniel, this is because you never watched any of my episodes. So one of these days, you will regret this. How did he know my name? I remember watching SpongeBob episodes. The screen had faded to black afterwards. At this point, I had already been sick and was sitting all shaken. The episode seemed to have come to an end at last. I was about to eject the DVD when the same image came up like it did on the TV. Except there was text above the sponge and the starfish that said in Japanese, which translated to "Death is our only release." The fuck is that supposed to mean? It stayed on this for a few seconds before it went to the credits. Except the copyright year said 1998. SpongeBob was made in 1999, not 1998. Then it cut to static, and the disc finally popped out of my PC. I thought it was your laptop. Isn't a PC a desktop? Or can PC just mean either one? I'm a little confused there. I sat there trying to contemplate what had happened. In my shock and fear, I called the police about this. Just in time, they arrived to see what happened. Right when they arrived, it showed a picture of a kid drinking from a water fountain. Gabriel woke up to see what the fuck was going on. I told him all about the episode and was shocked to hear that. Who was? You or him? The cop said I probably had a bad dream, but I said I didn't. Good thing I kept the DVD, so I showed them all that junk. They were shocked at what I showed them. When they left, I couldn't sleep and stayed up all night watching Cartoon Network and Adult Swim to get all that stuff out of my mind. That is not a good idea. Adult Swim likes to sneak some pretty disturbing shit in the early hours of the morning. Might not help your situation. The next day, Saturday, I searched for the episode on the internet, but nothing came up. I tried telling my friends about this, but nobody believed me, and neither do I. I went on my email, and I had the urge to contact Nickelodeon about this. In exactly 45 minutes, an intern replied. Of course it's a fucking intern. Why else would, who else would check the emails? Well, actually, no, that's probably something they do have the interns do. I didn't think about that. Hello, thank you for contacting us about this DVD. One thing, how on earth did you find out about that? Listen, we're very sorry your dreams are now crushed. Basically, we didn't make this DVD. A person we fired made it, and he was always depressed. He was a very quiet staff, like quiet as a mouse. We didn't put everything in. We're not that sick. What? What? I'm sorry, what? We didn't put everything in. We're not that sick. So, you're not that sick. You're not that sick. You're not that sick, but you fuckers also say this is an actual intern. Say they did actually contact Nickelodeon. Say this is a real person waiting on the other end of the line, or on the other end of the email, for this person to respond. We're not that sick, but you'll let episodes like the fucking Splinter on television. A episode that made adults nauseous. And you claim to be not that sick. I'm sorry, that is the least believable thing I have read in this entire creepypasta. The only thing that would make it even better is if he said the email was from Seth MacFarlane. We're not that sick. What the fuck? I don't know about the 1998 thing. It was probably a goof or a joke made by the creator of the episode. Yes, that's fucking hilarious. Now here's my theory. The creator of the episode refused to release the DVD and put it on eBay. What? The creator refused to release the DVD and put it on eBay. But putting it up on eBay is releasing the DVD to the hands of another person. Moving on. And the disturbing clip, I don't know. I don't. I only remember making the title card. I am very sorry, Daniel. Yes, that's my name. Yes, I know Daniel. It's been stated multiple times, Daniel. SpongeBob even referred to you by name, Daniel. Is that clear enough that your name is Daniel, Daniel? I am really sorry. Best wishes, the Nickelodeon staff and interns. I'm very sorry. Best wishes. My phone suddenly vibrated. At this point, the DVD had left my mind since I had not told anyone about it. You just told an intern about it. In your words, 45 minutes ago. So, yeah, you did indeed tell us somebody about it. Yeah, you did. Anger burp. However, it all came flooding back when I looked down at the text message someone sent me. It read, I can't read that. Just like I saw at the end of the DVD. I deleted the text message. I went by my regular days on my phone, but an unknown person texted me. It said, I replied to burn in hell, then I threw the DVD in the trash and promised to never try something like that again. What does throwing the DVD away actually do? What does it do? Thankfully, I kept a few screenshots and saved them to my laptop. The next couple of days went past without anything unusual happening. I had a few nightmares about the DVD, but luckily, that was all. My cousin had gone back home along with the rest of the family. It was a late night, and my parents had gone out for dinner, leaving me to watch TV. I heard what sounded like someone posting something through the door. Oh, great. At this point, the DVD had left my mind since I had not told anyone about it. You literally already said that exact same sentence fucking 2 paragraphs ago. However, it all came flooding back to me. God fucking damn it. You literally copy and pasted the fucking sentence. However, it all came flooding back when I looked down at the letter in front of me. It was just messily folded up, and it read, "Now I am warning you. If you find a copy of this disc, stay away from it." Do you ever add a... Fuck! Oh my god. I agree, Ruby, this is a ripoff of you and Max. Wait, this... Okay, so I can still see the comments, apparently. But they're really fucked up. This is fake, but Max and Ruby 04 is real. I've seen it. I still remember from when I was 6 I saw it. You have no evidence, you fucking old man who likes MLP. Oh my god. That was not in Russian, it was Japanese. Oh my god. I agree, Ruby, this is a ripoff of you and Max. 444. Death is her only release. Fuck you. Agreed. That text in Russian the narrator got translates to, "This is Patrick. You cannot survive like this beyond death, Daniel. The only way out of hell is suicide, and I'll see you in hell very, very, very soon." It's the same as Max and Ruby. Yes, it is, sadly. It's literally a rip. Stop saying that this is a ripoff. Did any of you read the sign above? It is still a ripoff. Wow, interesting, was disturbing, and wow, again, you are an idiot, huh? I have this episode, don't believe me? Reply, "Death is our only release, and I will send you the URL. Death is our only release. I don't say that around people, but I need the URL. I will send it to you once I get my laptop back. Fuck you, scammer! Oh my god. Skip to content. Skip to wiki. What? Wait, was that really all of the... Okay. Well, that one was interesting. But yeah, it was a ripoff. And it included a bunch of meaningless shit for no reason. Alright, you know what? We'll do one more. We'll finish it. We'll make this a nice little even 2 hours. We'll do one more either semi-long one or like 2 more like short ones. How about Evil Elmo? Oh, this might be our last one. Sesame Street when I was a young boy, my father took me. Lost Prototype, Lost Episodes, Devil Need Help. Shit Pasta, Suggested Reading, For the Shadow Reader. People who think this is a lost episode? Wrong. People who think this is good? Wrong. Oh my god, I'll bet your midnight blaze brighter than the moon and stuff. Oh. Read on YouTube. Like a flower in the basement waiting for a lonely death. Okay, so it's bad. Apparently we can all agree it's This was the corpse of Big Bird found on that day, and this is the broadcast after he was arrested. Of course it's on Fox. Oh my god. Okay. This might just be our last one. Let's finish it out strong, shall we? Evil Elmo. You thought you knew everything about Elmo? Well, you're wrong. Okay, prove me. You might think he's a sweet and cute little thing, but he's actually an evil pain in the ass who goes on killing sprees. Nope, I need a second. Nope, I need a second. I need a fucking second. I actually... Oh my god. An evil pain in the ass. An evil pain in the ass. Why did that get me? Why did that get to me? Oh my god. So, one day, an EAS alert came on the TV saying that Elmo is going on a killing spree, and everyone was shocked. So the police caught Elmo and arrested him. When he was arrested, the last thing he said was, "Elmo knows where you live." After he was arrested, there was an alert on Fox News where everyone was happy. Wrong. That is until 2 weeks later. The worst thing happened. He escaped prison. It caused panic. It was the worst day ever. There is no way this was written with sincerity. This cannot be written with sincerity. Hi, Mooney. Oh, in my Discord. Oh my gosh. Wait, I don't know if people can hear my voice in the rest of the chat. Maybe they can, maybe they can't. Oh my gosh. Many people tried to look for Elmo, but he was never found. Until he was found, and was back on a killing spree. This has to be a troll. This has to be a troll. Police then found Elmo and set him on fire. "I will get my revenge," he said. Elmo was finally dead. Someone told me to remember this. No matter what you do, Elmo won't die. Elmo's body was destroyed. Now they think of him as an urban legend. Who knows what happened to his spirit? Some say it's gone to hell, but others say it's still out there. Oh my god. 2 weeks later. What is it with 2 weeks? Why specifically 2 weeks? Is he into even numbers or what? 2 weeks later, Big Bird was killed that Sunday. No one knew what happened to him. But it could have been Elmo who has killed him? What? But could it have been Elmo who has killed him? Elmo was found on the news that following day. He was in New York City killing people. The people who knew he was still out there were right. Police arrested him again and killed him again. Now people say they still see him in their nightmares, and sometimes in real life too. Another 2 weeks later, and Elmo was alive again. Elmo is the same. He was born to kill. They then caught him permanently. But when they told him to get in the jail cell, he said, "You can't tell. I'm giving you the finger." An alternate phrase for the F word. Oh my god. I can't put it on here though, because I am not allowed to say it. I am only allowed to say shit, ass, damn, and hell. Words like sex and retard are included as well. What the fuck? Elmo was mad. They then put him to sleep. Some say he will never die because of all of the reports. He is evil to kill little kids too. This was probably how the song Elmo's Got a Gun was made. Oh my god. Here are the lyrics. Elmo's got a gun. Elmo's got a gun. Big Bird's on the run. Ernie's dialing 911. What made Elmo snap? Was he tired of Big Bird's crap? Then they say when Elmo was arrested, they found Oscar headless in the trash. What? I heard that Gordon's really running. Now that Elmo's got a gun, the street is never gonna be the same. Elmo's got a gun. Elmo's got a gun. Grover's head has come undone. Sesame Street's not real fun. Is this a real song? Is it real? And now Elmo was arrested permanently until he came to my house. Oh my god. Then that's not permanent, you tard. On October 8th, 2009, my sister was... What? Why is sister capitalized? Was watching Sesame Street. I looked at Elmo and said, why does everybody like him? She said not to say that to Elmo as something terrifying could happen. I went upstairs to play Minecraft on my computer. Why? What is with all these capitalizations? I looked in my closet and saw what looked like an Elmo doll with a knife. Ripping off that Mario whatever story. Are we now? I didn't even know what the hell it was. You just said it was a knife. And a doll. I thought I was just hallucinating, so I started up my PC. No, that is not what you do when you find something like that in your closet. You double check to make sure that what you see wasn't fake. After about half an hour, I saw something. Could it be the thing you thought you hallucinated? I turned down my FOV to see what it was. What? What? The hell's an FOV? I decided to get some rest. The next day I woke up by some kind of knife sharpening sound. Oh boy. I looked around but nobody was there. I ran downstairs and I heard some type of evil laughter. It was laughter that sounded like a laugh that I've heard before. Nobody was home, so I turned on the TV. No, that is not what happens when you hear weird evil laughter in your house and you're supposed to be alone. You tard. When I turned it on, it was on PBS Kids. It showed the Elmo's World my sister was watching. Only this was a different version of Elmo's World. In this episode, the colors were darker, as well as the actual episode itself. In the first part, Elmo and Grover were in a room. Then Elmo grabbed a kitchen knife, then brutally murdered Grover with it. This was disturbing, so disturbing that all you can describe it as is brutally murdered with a knife. Then Elmo looked at the screen and said, "Don't play with knives!" I couldn't believe what I was seeing, so I called up my best friend to have him come over. I tried to start the episode over, but the remote wasn't working. When the episode was finished, we both looked at each other. Then we looked at the screen, and the credits were playing. Except all of the words were in blood. How could you tell if they're on a screen? The music played backward, and my friend asked me... Oh, the music played backwards. My friend asked me why I called him up to come to my house in the first place anyway. Then I immediately changed the setting to the PlayStation 3 and turned on Portal 2. Well, that's a quick way to switch the subject and dissipate any tension. Then we both heard Elmo's laughter behind us. When I started up Portal 2, the power went out for no reason. What the fuck is all this leading up to? Really? It wasn't stormy, so I checked the cable box, and when I checked it, guess what I saw? I saw a little Elmo doll, the same one that lived in my closet, and he was holding a wire in his hand by the cable box. Oh my fucking god. I then told my friend that he should go home before something bad happens. What the fuck? Why wouldn't you leave with him? As he left, I heard a deep voice behind me. I turned around, and I saw the exact same Elmo doll. Then he said, "There is no escape!" I just stared at it for a few minutes, not knowing what to do with the damn thing. Then a thought came to mind. I then thought about it for a few minutes. You like taking your time on everything, don't you? Then I grabbed the Elmo doll, put it in the oven, burned it, and destroyed the ashes. How do you destroy ashes? What'd you do? Pile them all together and then reburn them? That doesn't do anything. Since then, I was alone in Minecraft, nothing lived in my closet, and the Sesame Street episodes were normal again. Okay, great. Why is there still more? It was my little brother's birthday a year later. Wow, okay. I was in the bathroom and my mom said, "Snoop boy, get in here." The fuck? Snoop boy? Is that your username or something? Just make up a name. I rushed out with water still dripping from my hands. Nasty, dry them. My little brother was crying, and my mom asked why I didn't give him a present. I was thinking, oh my god, it's happening. I grabbed $10 out of my pocket and handed it to my little brother and said, "Surprise!" I looked all over for the doll. After 2 minutes of searching, I finally found it, and guess where it was? It was in the kitchen next to the knife drawer. There was a cut in the doll's arm. There was actual blood dripping from it. No, really, I am not joking. It was not ketchup, not A1 sauce, not chocolate. Why is chocolate capitalized? It was literally blood. I was horrified. It was like watching actual blood dripping from someone else's arm. Can you stop describing that we have a bleeding arm and actually get on with the story? While my mom and brother stood there, there was a giant smile on their face. The mother and brother now share a face, everyone. Weirdest incest ever. Looking like the just won $1 billion, or even better, the lottery. I couldn't fall asleep that night. I just sat there in my bed holding a bat. You wouldn't just run? Really? No, not the living creature. No shit. It was the type of bat you used to play baseball with. Yes, we know. We get it. You don't have to elaborate on that. I then saw and heard something move in the dark. It was the Elmo doll with a knife. I then screamed. My mom and brother heard me scream. I would hope they did. When they opened the door, they saw the little Elmo doll with a knife. My mom said she'll call the police, and before she did, we turned around and the Elmo doll was gone. There was red fur leading to the door, and that's when we turned on the TV. And Elmo was arrested and was permanently dead. Everyone was happy. Oh my god. I'm glad he's not here anymore. If he was, I'd grab a knife and kill him with it. But good thing he's not alive anymore. Oh my god. There's no way anybody thinks this is good. There's no way anybody thinks that this is good. Die says, "Elmo is evil! Run!" A fandom user says, "Goo goo." Yeah, I agree. Nicholas, fucking tinnitus. Nicholas5878 says, "Cliche zone." "You're not Plankton, me Plankton," replied, "You need to shut the GS up." I thought this was the last episode. I guess not. No, it's not. What the fuck is this? I have Elmo. What the fuck did I just read? Oh my god. I don't even think there's a way to salvage that story. I've never seen such a mess since I fucking I don't think I have anything to compare it to. I honestly don't. I really don't think I have anything worth comparing it to. What the fuck? For a second, I thought my microphone was echoing. Kinda made me nervous. I'm reading this Happy Tree Friends one to finish us out. We've only got like 6 minutes left before the hour is up, but... oh my god, what is up with this formatting? What? What? What?
Oh.
Yo.
Here.
The fuck is that?
More Inkwell stuff.
Oh, awesome.
And then this is that USB extender kit.
Oh, for the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't have the screws, but like blue tack or like a 3M thing
Yeah.
should work.
Easy stick.
And then these are just little speakers.
Thank you.
But
Have you guys like gone off and done your like
no,
longboarding?
not yet. Not even just.
Oh, okay.
We have dinner at Dez's tonight too.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was gonna say, shit, you guys want to go for a hike after I finish this?
Probably not.
Okay.
Longboarding.
Yeah. Alrighty. Thank you. Woo, I've got a little project to do when I'm done now. Maybe I'll live stream on Instagram, setting up that little USB thing. Alright, this is gonna be the weirdest formatted story I read yet. Happy Tree Friends. Flaky Death. Line 0. Hello, I'm Joe. I'm 16... I'm sorry. Hello, I'm Joe. I'm 16 years old.
Here.
It was born... Oh my god.
Also, if you want any of these,
Oh my god.
tech decks.
Dude, are you just like getting rid of a bunch of shit?
Yeah. And if you want any of these card decks,
I'm good, I don't play cards. Ah! I also don't know what on earth I'm gonna do with these decks.
figure it out.
I guess so. Oh my gosh. Why does everybody give me shit when they're downsizing? Oh my god, I'm gonna have some tech decks for sale later. Keep your eyes open if you're interested. I'm Joe. I'm 16 years old. It was born in July 5th in Argentina, Cordoba. So, great. English is not your first language. I'm gonna tell you an HTF creepypasta about a red porcupine and a lavender beaver. Line 1. I was a fan of Happy Tree Friends. It was just normal but disturbing for children. 2. As of that, in the floor, I saw a VHS saying Flaky's death. It said Flaky Death on the title too. I put the VHS in my VHS player VCR and hit the play button. 4. The intro looked odd. The young animals were faceless. 5. It just had that one difference. It went to the title card saying Mangled and Morbid, Flaky Death. 6. The episode started with Flaky and Toothy walking in a car track road, then a realistic car appeared on the screen. 7. The car ran over Toothy, but Flaky ran away. 8. The car went way too fast to run over Flaky, and the car exploded. 9. There were credits. 10. The credits were animator Jake, writer Octavio, intro animator Thomas Sanders. What? Wait. Tom Sanders? What? 11. I ejected the VHS. 12. Practically ripping it out. Then I heard realistic scream outside. It found an orange-like stew, so it threw it away in the trash can. What is with all this weird capitalization? Angry burp. 13. Flippy appeared to me with a more like sinister smile, and he said I killed Toothy and Flaky, then in knew Flippy was driving the car. 14. I will never, ever watch HTF again. 15. The sequel. This Pasta thingy is having a second part, so enjoy. 16. I saw another VHS in the kitchen. You know it was a blackout, and we have several generators, so obviously it picked it up concerned, and it said something chilly. It said, which meant 18. Flippy suicide. It was shocked. I put the VHS into the VHSCR. And ... 19. It started with Flippy looking depressed, and he was in an unknown basement. 20. He wanted to shoot himself. ... So he took a pistol and ... Kaboom! 21. Blood was spilling all over his corpse. His head was exploded. As of the gun, it lied on the basement floor, and for the episode, it finished. No credits, no nothing. 22. That was the last time I saw HTF... So... If you guys are watching the episode, please don't. What the fuck? There's comments on this one. A fandom user says, fuck you. 2 brains are better than 1. Oh no. Says, you know what? I'm going to write a Happy Tree Friends creepypasta, and it's going to be the greatest piece of literature since Jeff the Killer versus Pinkie Pie. Add Flaky. He's the purest porcupine boy. Actually, I wrote it a little while after writing that comment, and sadly Flaky is not in it. But here it is if you're still interested. Lol pasta. Oh no. The Dark Cat says, what in the ever-loving fuck? A fandom user says, well, despite the fact that the protagonist is only 6 years old, it doesn't accept the fact that the grammar in the story is absolute crap. Also, why did you use a numbered list instead of writing an actual story? 0.5 out of 10. Sure, awesome. BFB fan says, I didn't need a single full story, so I made a list with 14 parts. 22 parts. This is incomplete. Fiery says, I am the creator of the photos. What the fuck? I don't remember creating this page. Well, on that note, I think we should call it good. This will be the last Crappypasta/Crappypasta stream for quite a while, because I actually do want to get back into doing video games and actually start off on an actual long Let's Play series that I want to do, you know? I mean, I wanted to do Kingdom Hearts and all of that stuff. Those are games I wanted to play and did play. I did what I set out to do. Oh, wow. At one point we cut out. Yeah, it says that we have excellent connection, but apparently at, like... That's weird. Okay. Anyway, so feel free to leave in the comments below any bad creepypastas or even good creepypastas that you would like read on whenever we eventually do another creepypasta stream. I also highly recommend checking out my Instagram, where you can also DM me links and stuff. I do have something go over them, so if you try to send me like a phishing site, I will report you very quickly off the bat, like almost instantly, so good luck with that one. Anyway, I would say check out my Twitter, but Twitter made it so that I can't verify that I exist, because you have to use an email, and they used up all my emails. And, Feel free to check out my merch. I will eventually update it so that there's actual variety and not just the shit that I have put up there. I shouldn't call it shit. I worked hard on that stuff. But, otherwise, thank you very much for joining me on this rather unique story stream. We had quite a journey through that, I suppose. Definitely had varying levels of quality. Definitely. Anyway, I think I've dragged this ending out long enough. This has been Fallout Sheppy, and have a good one.